In today's episode, let's discuss about the topic Roganutpadaniyam. This is a chapter that is mentioned in Ashtanga Hridayam, one of the most used source of Ayurvedic wisdom. So in this chapter, Roganutpadaniyam, which actually, if you decode this word Roganutpadaniyam, which means the origin of diseases. Now we have after the invention of germ theory, we know that certain germs cause disease, but there are so many idiopathic diseases, lifestyle diseases. Now this concept of Roganutpadaniyam can be highly related to current modern type non-communicable diseases that we see today. Now let's understand one of the most important concept that is mentioned there is the concept called Udhaavartham. Now in this chapter, Acharya Vakbata, he talks about there are certain urges in our body, and he describes about 13 urges. Now these urges, when the body is having these inclinations towards to do something, there is when I inhale something that is not good for my body, and it could be a potential toxin or an pollen or an allergen, my body will initiate a sneeze, so that the sneeze is a way to eliminate that. If I drink something and if my body can't handle it, and if it thinks that this is not good, maybe a diarrhea could be induced. But these are extreme cases. But apart from that, every day we have an urge to urinate. Every day we have an urge to poop. We have an urge to sleep. But in some cases, we might also have urge to cry, an urge to yawn, urge to even eliminate gas. So like this, when these urges are suppressed with force, and when you do this suppression over a period of time, that could lead to diseases that could become quite difficult to reverse. I mean difficult, not impossible. Now, this is what you see in many of the non-communicable lifestyle diseases that people complain. They're having aches and pains, they have insomnia, they have constipation, hormonal imbalances leading to thyroid-related issues or metabolic disorders. I'm finding it difficult to lose weight. A lot of it can also, you can go back to some of the important urges in our body that we are not listening to it and suppressing it. That's why listening to these urges are very important. Now let's just understand this concept called Udhaavartham. Now the word Udhaavartham is a name given to a spectrum of diseases. But Udhaavartham literally means whirlpool. Now what is this whirlpool? If you understand, there is a river bed and the water is flowing on it. Suddenly, when there is a deep hole in the river bed, this water changes its current. Some of the water undergoes, and as the flow of water gets deviated down and goes up, there is a whirlpool that starts because of the change of there is a hole in the river bed. That one small hole leads to a whirlpool. Now this whirlpool, when people get trapped into it, it can lead to many problems. So this is just one example of the whirlpool that I'm talking about. The same way, now let's imagine somebody has an urge to go to toilet, like to poop. And let's say they are in a meeting and they are not able to do that. And then they suppress it. And unlike breathing, when you suppress it, you will die. But if you don't poop, maybe your body has a luxury to hold it for some time. Sometimes you could hold it for one more day. But after a certain day, sometimes you might even lose the ability to poop, and that leads to difficult chronic constipation times later on. But the point that we are saying is, when somebody is not pooping on time, when the body is asking, okay, I need to poop, maybe the lack of availability of hygienic or good quality toilet, or they are traveling or they are on a motorbike or a car and they are not able to do that. When they keep doing this over a period of 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, maybe they go to toilet later on, but what happens is it completely deranges the normal rhythm or punctuality of the body's elimination mechanism. So when this compounds over a period of time, this can lead to many other health problems. That's why routine and punctuality is very important. But sometimes today, because of the nature of the job, the environment that they live in, sometimes, lack of access to good quality toilet can also create this problem. Many times people have constipation because They got exposed to unhealthy or unhygienic toilets, and they associate, oh, I can't go to that toilet. So what they do is they withhold their need to go to the toilet, and that becomes constipation later on. It's a psychological problem. Again, one of my favorite topics, the Pavlovian dogs correlation. They start associating going to toilet is painful, stinky, or unhygienic. So I don't want to use the toilet. So this becomes another problem. So it is very important. Understand, if you yawn, if you're feeling sleepy, listen to it. Why am I feeling sleepy? Maybe if there is a possibility to take a short nap or do a yoga nidra and recover, if it's a daytime, that will be very good. At night, by 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., at that time, there will be a wave of sleep that you will get. Try to catch that wave and go to sleep. But if you suppress that urge to sleep and you stay awake very late at night, then your ability to go to sleep over a period of time will become deficient or difficult. So that's why it's very important. Listen to your body and try to get into that circadian rhythm. By the way, this concept of circadian rhythm, people ask me, was it really mentioned in Ayurveda? Now, Ayurveda never talks about circadian rhythm as it is like how it is mentioned right now, but a lot of the concepts that are mentioned in Ayurveda is way beyond before the concept of circadian rhythm came. Like, for example, there is a spectrum of disease that is mentioned in Ayurveda called Vata Rektam. Now, Vata Rektam, in today's medical language, all the autoimmune conditions, the neurological disorders that are of idiopathic in nature, falls under the spectrum of Vata Rekta. And one of the biggest causes of Vata Rekta mentioned in Ayurvedic textbooks is going to sleep very late at night or sleep deprived. This was mentioned centuries ago. So, and also you could see now we are scratching the surface of what sleep deficiency will lead to. And if you listen to one of my previous episodes on sleep, how to enhance the quality of your sleep, you will try to understand. But this idea that when your sleep urge is coming, when you don't sleep, and if you stay awake night, later on you'll have an identity called I am a night owl. I struggle to sleep at night, and then you go to sleep at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and this becomes your new identity, and then you continue that, and then high blood pressure. A lot of patients, when they improve the quality of sleep, their blood pressure becomes regulated. A lot of patients, when they are struggling to lose weight, when the sleep becomes regulated, they lose weight easily, even though they could eat the same food they used to eat before regulating their sleep. The same with diabetes, the same with blood pressure, the same with a lot of other metabolic conditions. A good sleep will help to improve. That is why this concept of roganutpadaniyam, listening to your body's urges and doing the right thing. And also the same with hunger. Sometimes people have strong hunger and they try to suppress it. Yes, we talk a lot about fasting. Sometimes you also have to listen to, are you energetic? And if you're having a very low energy and low mood, at that time if you suppress it, and then many of the polycystic ovarian syndrome patients that come, especially they just finished their college and they got a job, it could be an IT sector, and they could be working late night hours. And I've seen patients with hormonal imbalances, especially women. When I ask them, tell me about your diet, how do you, what are your eating habits, what time do you eat, they would say, oh doctor, I sometimes fast the whole day, and at night I would have my one meal because I heard it's very good. Okay, fine, fantastic. So what do you eat at night? Sometimes I would order pizza. So they are fasting for the entire day, they don't eat, or maybe they just live on coffee or some beverages, and at night suddenly what they eat is a high glycemic index, high sugar, high carb, and that is like too much for the body to handle. So instead of that, have your 3 meals and eat healthy, but eat something that is not as bad as a pizza. And when a person does this over a period of time, suddenly there is a hormonal imbalance and they are not realizing what happened to their body. And to reverse that could be quite a mammoth task. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's going to be a challenging and a difficult thing. So that's why listen to your body's urges and try to redesign your work life, your environment, your home. If you have the luxury to change your job, and if it is not complementing your health, it's better to change that, because nothing is good if it's costing your health. Be it your relationship, be it your work, be it how much you can earn, be it whatever that you feel is good for you, if it is not complementing the quality of your health, in the long term, it will bite you back. It's always important, whatever decisions that you take, whatever you pursue in your life, is it going to help me improve the quality of my health? Yes, then I do it. If not, then don't do it. That's why many patients, they come and tell me, oh, they come for their first consultation, I prescribe. Maybe they had allergy, maybe they had sleep deprivation, maybe they had weight loss issues. There are so many patients in my personal medical records. I have seen patients, they didn't recover because of the medicines I prescribed. They recovered because they changed their job or changed their cities, because the environment plays such an important role. And sometimes now, after realizing this, I tell many patients, maybe it's time to change your job, or maybe you don't have to leave the job. Maybe you have to rework how you have to work. Talk to your boss. These working hours are not working. Maybe night shift is not helping you anymore. Try to change that, because you're not able to listen to your body, because somewhere the financial security is telling you it's okay, I have to sacrifice my health. Or maybe you have made it your new normal to deal with your body's conditions. That's why this whole concept of Udhaavartham is, have an environment designed in such a way that you are able to listen to your body. That make sure you have access to good toilets. Make sure you're hydrating yourself well. Make sure you have access to good healthy food 3 times a day. Otherwise, if not 3 times a day, maybe you need to prep the meal and take it for your office. And it's the same thing with your sleep. Make sure your sleeping environment is very good. So that is what listening to your body means. First is, you have to be aware of it, what my body is communicating. And by the way, there is a difference, hunger and craving. Now, why I'm bringing this, I realize I forgot to mention this. See, the difference between hunger and craving. Hunger means my body needs energy. Maybe I need some good food. But craving is usually, it's not, my body doesn't want energy, I want entertainment. And it's particularly associated with one particular food item. It could be a pizza, it could be a chocolate, it could be a particular pre-packaged food, or a junk food, or I crave for a pizza, or I crave for Coke. Like this, it could turn around. So understanding your craving need not be your body's call. It could be a pattern that you picked up, and it need not be an intelligence of your body that is asking for it. It could be a pattern, unhealthy pattern, that has become your disguised as your body's intelligence. So that we need to be able to identify. But hunger is, I feel my energy is slightly low. I need to eat something healthy, or I need to eat something to have some energy. And that is the difference here. And cravings usually could be like a dopamine effect. I want something very sugary, or fried and salty. It could be crunchy. These are the things that comes when it comes to cravings. You usually don't crave for healthy items. You usually crave for unhealthy items. And if it's something healthy, it could be hunger. So that's one thing that we have to understand. So same way, become a detective in your body's feelings. What is it trying to say? If you feel, and by the way, about crying, one of the Vegas that is mentioned in the Ashtanga Hridayam, if you suppress your tears, it could lead to a lot of headaches or pain in your above the neck region, that could lead to many other issues with your overall health. And when we suppress our tears, means we are suppressing our emotions. Like one of the 19th century surgeon, I forgot his name, but I would like to check that. He made a special quote which he said, if you do not find an outlet for your emotions through tears, some part of your body can weep internally. So when they suppress their emotions over a long period of time, something in the body will start creating a tumor or something. Yes, we don't have a study on this, but you will see many cancer patients or terminally ill patients who suddenly over time come across. When you go back, there are a lot of unresolved emotions that are coming up there. So it's very important you listen to your feelings. Where do you need that outlet? It could be going to urinate, or to poop, or to cry, or to even laugh. If you suppress your yawning, it's also not healthy. So like also, if you're hungry and you're not eating, and if you and you starve yourself and eat something very unhealthy, that makes it even worse. So like this, you have to be very clear about what is your body trying to want, and you're able to listen and you're able to meet that demand. That is how we are able to live long. Yes, there are other issues that also contribute to your longevity. If there is an infectious disease, we should be able to have the right access to medical health care. If there is an emergency, access to emergency health care also plays an important role. But these are some of the basics where we could end up in some of the non communicable diseases that are idiopathic in nature and difficult to cure just by taking a pill. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and the highlight is listen to your body as if it's the most important thing.